This serious. 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 This serious.
Oh dear.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. dear.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome,
Oh
welcome
dear.
to Chill and Spill, everybody. I'm your host, Nubian. Oh dear, yes. Hope you don't hear too much interference going on there. How is everybody doing? Um, one second. Yeah. Yes. Oh, I think that's too high. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we're just doing mic checks on the radio. Apologies. Um, yes, so how is everybody doing? Welcome to Chill and Spill on this lovely Sunday evening. Apologies for the lateness, but the thing is, I've changed the time on the flyer, so I hope you guys did recognize that. Um, we've had a really hectic weekend. As you know, we there was the Hurricane Beryl that tried to take over, but didn't quite succeed. Yeah, because the islands are still standing as much as there is a lot of destruction. So we've been very, 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 very busy this weekend. Hence why we are tiny bit late. So apologies for that. Well, let me tell you about my week. I'm not sure if everybody knew about this week. This week we was live on YouTube talking about the hurricane. And my apologies, to my left, we have Benson. Benson is here with me today. Zuz isn't here with us today, but she's here in spirit. You shall hear from her later. But unfortunately, she couldn't be here tonight. But us wonderful people are here to entertain you. So I hope everybody's happy with that. Yeah, so we was live in the week. If you check the YouTube, you'll be able to see all of the videos that we uploaded, all the updates um, coming up, coming up to the hurricane. We was keeping everybody informed on the progress of the hurricane, which was Category 4 by the time it got to Jamaica. It also hit a lot of other Caribbean countries as well, like Barbados, Grenada, St. Vincent, um, Cayman Islands. Did I miss any?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, right, okay. And then it was after that it was heading to Texas. I think if my information is correct. If not, please let me know. So my week has been very, very hectic. How's your week been, Benson?
Good evening, everyone. Always busy as usual, So, but mainly a week to reflect in some sense, knowing that the with actually the hurricane and knowing that you're not around family, So it has been one of those weeks where I haven't been in high spirits, but nevertheless the journey continues, So it's just one of those things. Nothing new, nothing that I'm not accustomed to in regards to keeping busy and keeping myself out of trouble. So it's all good.
Oh, very good, very good. Good to know. Welcome aboard, Christine. Welcome. Good evening to you. Um, I hope all is well with everything, with all the hurricanes and everything was going on. Earlier on, I did put a post up. If you would like to make a donation to those in Jamaica for them to buy credit, to contact family and friends abroad, just to let everybody know they're okay. Because as we know, the few lives were lost. Sorry, excuse me, which was is very very sad. To think that weather has killed people is insane. So yeah, if you can you can contact us on 07903 129 265. One of our great listeners came up with the idea. So big up to you. I think it's a great idea because 400,000 people haven't got electric. Now, can you imagine not having electric for that many days? All right, we get power cuts. Yeah, we get power cuts. Power cuts can last for up to a short period of time to a long period of time, but I'm not sure about a power cut lasting for days and days. I'm not sure. I'm not aware of that. Obviously, in some places where the weather, if the weather's knocked out the electric, then it may do. But that's the only power loss that I've experienced. So, and a lot of people have generators as well, but you can't have a generator in your house. It's very, very dangerous because it's got toxic fumes and can kill you. So, you may have a generator for the electric, but it's where you keep it. So, think about it. You've got severe weather conditions outside. You need electric, you ain't got none, but you got a generator. But you can't leave it inside the house. So where's it gonna go? Because outside it's gonna mash up your generator, no?
True.
So what are you gonna do?
No, sir.
How are you gonna work that one out?
It's
It's mm,
it's not it's something that we have where especially in the Caribbean
mm-hmm.
where they don't exercise safety measures to some sense.
Mm-hmm.
And in that regard, it's it's a bit sad because what happened is they whatever safety measures is there,
Yes.
we don't abide by safety measures when it comes to certain things. They will say, "All right, no man, as long as it's working, you know."
Mm-hmm.
So in that part of it, you can I can understand, right? And even though it's sad where the generators is concerned, because even sometimes when you do start a generator, especially when you have it close to a wall, then you
Mm-hmm.
could see like the amount of fumes that is coming out of the generator.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. I would not say it's a catch-22. It's just the safety precautions may be there, but a lot of persons, especially in Jamaica, they don't read manual.
But the thing is, I would have thought that it would have been a good idea to kind of bury the generator. You know, like build a little concrete, below ground.
The thing is, remember that the generator
Yeah.
is like a car in the sense of the
It
where the
needs escape.
exhaust
Yeah.
is concerned, and it needs air to keep
Yeah,
a
to keep
regular
it.
temperature.
Yeah.
So those ones are not made for that sort of purpose. The only other ones that is more um, safer
Or
in the
suitable.
yeah, I would say safer is the ones that you can it's silent, but it's much a bigger capacity where that one as the soon as the current goes, that one just comes on automatically. So
Oh.
it all depends on the type that they're using, but to my estimation, is what they're using the ones
That you
that
pull.
that you just pull and start
Yeah.
and stuff. So
Yeah.
That is the thing.
Welcome aboard, Barbara, and welcome aboard, Faye. Welcome to Chill and Spill. Good evening to you both, and I hope you've had a good day so far and a great weekend. Um, we didn't have a show on Friday either, did we, Benson? We apologise for those that were waiting for the music show that was due to unforeseen circumstances, but we are sure to be back this week, Friday, for that. So we just want to, the topic, the hot topic tonight, I have to quickly get it in there, is about teachers having sex with pupils. That is the topic. But before we get into that topic, that juicy topic that you would not want to miss, we just want to talk about, the destruction of the hurricane, because to me, that is a very big what happened not too long ago. Because as we all know, well, some of us may know, that this time of year is rainy season in the Caribbean. It is the rainy season, but hurricane season don't start until September to November. So to get a hurricane in June, that hasn't been that years and years and years and years and years that didn't happen for. So we're just gonna show you some of the destruction that the hurricane has done throughout the days. After the hurricane, these are the sort of destructive things that's happened to buildings, to businesses, you know, to homes. You're thinking that you're talking about people's livelihood here. You know, fishermen, bar workers, little restaurants. And you got some vendors that sell food just on the side, at the side of the road. You know, what's gonna happen to them?
The one other thing too that I find it hard to understand where the Caribbean is concerned, because over the years you have new buildings being erected, and this also brings me back to think of the fact that is there enough has been done with the new buildings that are being erected now,
Yep.
if they are built to sustain that sort of thing that is happening. Because, like a lot of areas that are flood prone areas. I remember a couple of years ago when I used to visit a aunt in Clarendon, and knowing the fact that those areas they are very flat and they're always flooding, and then you could see houses being erected and they're actually at ground level, like the front door is at ground level.
Wow.
So over a period of time, it seems like how technology has evolved. That are some of the things that the contractors and the homeowners, I also think that they should take that into consideration for making a house more higher, more thinking now of even instead of putting uh, roofing on, to maybe have decking. Because if they do have those stuff, at least you're making an effort to protect your houses and your businesses.
Welcome aboard, Zona. Sorry, welcome aboard. Good evening. Good evening to you.
And if even if they do it based on the contractors that they are using, you also have to take into consideration if some of those jobs were done properly. I do agree that the hurricanes at times are
Unpredictable.
stronger, unpredictable,
Mm.
but as time progresses, because we should be aware of the fact that it's more than maybe 8, 10 years now they have been saying as because of climate
Climate
change,
change.
yeah, climate change, things will change a bit. But yet still, are they building the buildings to stand up to those torrential winds?
Yep.
So those are some of the things that I think that they should take into consideration to make the buildings more sturdy. Because if you have decking, it's very unlikely that it will damage the place unless the structure wasn't good enough for that to happen.
You know what I struggle with countries that are, you know, like the UK. We have when we have snow, they can't manage it. Yeah. Whereas they should be able to manage it because we're a cold place. So anything cold and rainy, they should be prepared for all weather conditions. Just like in Canada, they have a lot of snow. They're prepared for their weather conditions. You know, they've got special tires for the cars. You know, they are prepared for snow as much as they can be. I don't understand, like the Caribbean, just like a lot of other countries and islands, they know that it's a place where they get hurricanes, just like Florida, you know, Miami. Miami's in Florida. But hurricanes is inevitable. So I don't understand why are you gonna you're not gonna be prepared as much as you can because not everyone can afford it. I understand that not everyone can afford to make sure that their building is secure. But for those that do, that can afford it, no damage should be done to your house.
Yeah,
Very little damage should be
yeah,
done.
it because not even saying that you would use like the shutters and stuff.
Yeah.
Because before, what happens is years ago they have introduced hurricane straps in Jamaica, but that only holds that raft board that goes on top of the block. But as time progresses, there are also straps that are even in America, even here you can find them just the same, where it's not only for that rafter that goes on the top of the block. There's also rafters that goes under each beam that goes across just the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at one point in time, they were even thinking of another measure also is to have like plyboards on top of the
Yes.
roof. Then you put the dechromastic on or the zinc. And the other thing that they have there, which in I find it a bit strange, is where they will say that the back sieve, that is that part where the building, the zinc or the dechromastic roofs ends, it's under it. So they will say, as long as the back sieve is good, that won't happen. But funny enough, that is not the right way to do it.
No.
They even when you look at it, and it's just common sense where they would have like guttering that goes around the house to take the water from the wall. The guttering goes at the end of the chromastic roof or the end of the zinc. Now, I've sat and thought about it already. If they are doing those sort of stuff, it
Mm.
won't stop the wind because the wind can blow away those pipes that are there or what they're using to do that. Now, the other safety measure that they can do is use a concrete guttering. When the concrete guttering goes there now, that end of that rafter where the zinc or the dechromastic roof comes there, it will fall in the concrete guttering, and then the concrete guttering will go over that bit. So the wind won't get to go under it that easy.
Mm.
But I think more technology can be introduced in how the houses in the Caribbean are being made
Yes.
to prevent that. Hurricane is a bit different than a earthquake.
Mm. Yes.
it's a bit different.
Well, in Japan, or was it China, when they're prepared for the earthquakes because they've got springs underneath
Yeah,
their
yeah,
buildings.
yeah. Because even a majority of the bridges also have that. And
Exactly.
in China, they are the first ones to came up with that invention to have the springs under the the foundation,
Yes.
and then when if the building sways, it will move with it.
This is what
Funny
I'm saying,
enough,
but that's preparation, though,
yes,
isn't
yeah,
it?
it
It's
is
all part of
preparation.
prep,
Couple
you
of
know?
years ago, I mentioned that to a contractor in Jamaica, and he said, "You don't have any sense, man."
He said that you don't have no
Yeah,
sense. Oh, really?
but so the other thing is that ignorance, and when a person is not informed or lack of knowledge to certain things, then certain comments has will be made. But
Mm-hmm.
the same way that we revolves in technology and everything that we're doing, that should also goes into infrastructure in constructing buildings, and that will also help. Because if you notice, like places like Alligator and Top Hill, Compound, those area, Liquor Orchard areas, all those houses, they are flat on the ground. Majority of them, 80% of them are flat on the ground, which in
Wow.
those areas are the areas that has been damaged mainly. And you look at it just the same where you would look at places like Jonestown and Denham Town, even when they get flood from those canals and stuff like that. Even when houses are constructed there, they don't think about making the house a bit higher, wherein you have a step to go in. Then
Yes.
that simply means if the water rises, it will reach at the step and not.
And
Yeah,
not the ground. And
and you
not
see
the
that.
floor.
Yeah, you see that all over the world. All over the world, you see that they don't take those things into
Consideration.
consideration.
No.
And this hurricane has been not a wake up call to some, because during that period of time while the hurricane was just about to start, I was watching a video on Instagram, and I saw some fishermen out at sea. And a couple days after, I heard that some fishermen drowned at sea. I don't know if it's the same guys. So people do sometimes don't take what is happening around them seriously.
No.
Another couple, another family, after the hurricane, they went to the beach. I've never heard anything like that before. How can you go to the beach after the hurricane?
You know?
Sadly enough, I heard two of them passed away, or three.
No.
So people will do things at times. You have to even sit back and say, what are these people thinking?
Yeah.
But that's Jamaica for you, because every hurricane, even in this one, they were partying
Yeah, partying in the
downtown in
streets.
in the in the streets just the same. But Jamaicans always do that. There was this other guy again on the top of the building with a flag waving, and the Jamaican Superman and all those things. So they're just hilarious, loving people, and I don't know what they take serious to some element of it.
Yeah, because there's people out there. I mean, what can they really do? Some people just make a bad situation, funny.
Yeah.
What can you do?
For those persons who are watching, and we're just gonna give the number out, and if we should have a call from Jamaica who needs some credit on behalf of the GMPC, and a fellow DJ colleague of mine, he said he would want to be the first to donate £20 credit to anyone who is in Jamaica now that is listening to us. I know that some places are still down in terms of their internet and their electricity. But if you're listening around the world and you want to send a message to a friend or family in Jamaica, we have some donations that have been given, all courtesy the GMPC Live family, and this idea came up to one of our audience listeners, And if they ring the number that credit is theirs, we'll put the credit on tomorrow to be exact, because the place to do the credits are
It's
are
closed.
closed at the moment. And what I've realized in Jamaica is that there's only one network that was working during that period of time, and it was Lime. It wasn't Digicel. For some persons who are in some areas and they are not getting your family member, it's because they were using the Digicel, but Lime has brought them through. And another thing that I realized too with this hurricane in Jamaica, and I know it's very hard to have people to allocate all over Jamaica. But one of the things that I was so disappointed about, which in it was the JPS and the electricity poles, the poles that were down with the electricity.
Yes.
Yeah. And there even yesterday, to be honest, on some main roads, I was listening to one MP last night that was driving around in St. Elizabeth, some part between Manchester and St. Elizabeth. And he was saying how upset he is because he said he has been on the road from in the morning and he haven't seen one JPS vehicle trying to get those
The
light
power back.
poles, yeah, the power
Yes.
back. And that is the thing that when you have in a country and you have one company that is doing
Everything.
everything, that is supplying the electricity, because they will take their time because you have no other choice than to wait. You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
that bit of it, it's a bit heartburning to see, and I
That's
hope,
very disappointing.
yeah. So that part of it is sad, and I do hope that all things can return to normal before the hurricane season kicks in its full effect later on in the year. But we hope and pray that there will be no more hurricanes that affect anybody around the world, to be
Yeah.
honest. And the funny thing about it is, Nubian, if you notice, all the damages that were created and the areas where it would be between St. Elizabeth, which is most affected,
It came up from Kingston
yeah,
to Port Royal,
that
that
end,
that end
yeah.
of Jamaica.
So the St. Elizabeth end and
Manchester.
Manchester end, they said those persons are affected more. And I have to say a massive thank you for I saw Ramesh Entertainment and Shenyang Group, that's
Shensia, yeah.
Sensia, yeah, that they went down to St. Elizabeth yesterday and were handing out some food stuff and
Supplies.
plyboards and stuff like that. That's very good.
Yeah, it's very,
I
very
must
good.
commend them for that. That's very good. United States has donated 2.5 million US to Jamaica. We don't know where that is going to go
Yes.
yet, so we can't talk about that bit. But
Mm.
for those persons who have their companies and have their business there and have been affected just the same and still reaching out, it is a very, very good thing.
It really, really
Very,
is.
very good thing. That is a good thing for them to do. And for the Jamaican people who, a lot of times, there are a lot of persons who will go about and do their good deeds, and it's not recorded and it's not, no one made mention of them, you know, for
Yes.
those persons who in Jamaica and all around the world who is always giving and sharing without the
Yes.
cameras.
That's right.
Big up those people.
Big up them
Yeah,
people each and every time,
yeah.
because, it's not all the time, you want to be known, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of silent people out there that are doing a lot for the communities around the world. And we definitely have to give them enough respect for that, and blessings, because there's nothing worse than having everything that you desire and more, and you just sitting on it and not sharing, you know? So big up those people that have it, and in order for everybody else to feel comfortable And for the less fortunate people around the world, they have decided to donate and be a part of the community. Big up yourselves each and every time. I'm telling you. Yes, so if anybody would like to donate, I'm going to say it again. If anybody would like to donate some, any amount is appreciated. Please give us a call, or you can message our studio number, which is 07903 129 265. Where's Zuz? Where is she so she could do the rest of the number? But yeah, that's the number that you can message if you'd like to donate and help those that need credit to reach out to people that live in the Caribbean, well, in Jamaica, and have family abroad that they would like to contact just to ensure that they're safe and everything like that. But yes, back to the topic at hand. The topic is
No, sir.
teachers having sex with pupils. For those that live in the UK, you may know, or you may not know, but there has been a case where a teacher has groomed two boys. Yeah, they're calling them boy A and boy B. And she got pregnant with boy B's child. Now, these boys were 15 years old, and they were manipulated, brainwashed into having sexual relations with this lady. Since this week, about 3 days ago, she was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. Funny enough, her father said he doesn't see the problem with her talking to these boys because she's lonely. Big up, Zuz. Big up yourself, Zuz.
Oh dear.
Welcome aboard. Yes. He doesn't see anything wrong with that. Now, I would like to know you guys' views on this topic, because those that have children that send their children to school to learn, and you think that they're in a safe space, yeah, you've got teachers out there, male and female, grooming boys and girls. Imagine you send your child or your children to school thinking that they're safe at school. And like one boy said, I think it was boy B in this case, said that after school maths was torture in his head. It was a very, very dark time. He didn't want to go to after school maths because he knows what's going to happen. Yeah? He's going to be manipulated into having sex with this woman. Now, at the time, I think she was 28. Yeah, she was 28 years old at the time. And they were 15. Well, he was 15. Boy B.
This serious.
What is in your mind when you look at these children? Apparently she's an attractive lady. So the boys were making like little flirty comments and she'll laugh about it. But most teachers, you make any flirty comments to them, you're going straight to the head teacher or the principal, because that behavior is not acceptable. But for some teachers, this is great. Bring it on. She just came out of a long 9-year relationship as well. At the time, she was in a 9-year relationship, And then after that, she thought that let her go and groom some boys.
She not groom nobody.
She groomed them.
Yeah, what happened?
Christine says she wants a good clap in her head and back and more. What is 6.5 years?
Yeah, what happened? The thing is, a lot of times, right? When you look into things and you will say, this has happened, right? You have to take into consideration in the sense that they, with a lot of people, the boys, how long it was going on for. Now, whenever a person is caught doing whatsoever they're doing, they are going to say anything, right, to make their story looks better. Now, what I would want to find out in this case is how long this has been going on for before those guys, if it is one of them, A and B, reported the matter to the police or to their parents. Or it was because of the pregnancy, because she had a child for one of them, I think she did, right?
Right, yes.
So, for what period of time this was going on between the teacher and the student before they it's a form of manipulation, in the sense that the manipulation part only comes into it when it's before the judge, don't it?
Yeah, because he said at first he didn't think that, you know.
But he was enjoying what was happening.
Welcome aboard, Antonio. Nice. Welcome aboard. Is that volume better, please? Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, that is the thing too.
Yes. So that is the thing. I'm telling you something now. We have to be very careful what we discuss here as well on the live, because it's a very tender subject. But she did have a child with a boy, with boy B, and the child was taken away from her 24 hours after having that child. Now, I need a bit more information about that, but I haven't. They haven't really mentioned anything more about that, to be honest. Christine says, boys of that age also in no right. Boys of that age also no right from kids. They are old enough. And she agrees with you, Benson. So, Christine, are you saying that they're old enough?
Most definitely.
Okay.
Because if you age of consent for a girl is what, 16, right?
Yes.
And the boy is 15. So what is the age of consent for boys?
Ain't the same as the girls.
They don't have do they have age of consent for boys? I've never heard about age of consent for boys.
Okay.
Because the girls are 16, but they have never made mention of what is the age of consent for boys. Even though from some boys are mature to a certain age, maybe 9, 10, they can impregnate a female. But
It is 16. That's what I thought.
so yes, so if it is 16, right?
Yes. It doesn't matter what gender, regardless of gender and the gender.
So the age of consent is 16.
Yes.
So it's 1 year shy of being from it.
Yes.
But it all depends on who reported the matter and how long it has been going on for. Because I can guarantee you that I know she bought one of the boys a bag for £300.
No, was it a bag or a Gucci belt or something
A
like that?
bag or a belt. Yeah,
£350 for it.
yeah. And that could not happen through just one go. The part that they are complaining about is because they are in front of the judge.
So let me just ask you a question: Is it okay because he's a boy? Would it be the same rules apply for the female?
That is what she was saying to the judge also. She was saying the same thing to the judge.
No, that's what I'm
But
saying. That's why it has to be treated equally.
yeah,
Because if it was a male teacher and a female girl, same age, there'll be uproar. There'll be uproar
but that is the thing, is how society handles man
as a
in a
whole.
different way. Yeah, man.
Yeah, yes, that's what I'm
When it
saying.
comes to man and woman.
That's
That is
why
how society, because society is more protective of the woman.
this is why they had to make an example of her and warn. That's a warning for other teachers, even in that same situation or thinking about it. It's not okay whether female, boy or girl, they are still a child, and you should not be looking at them that way, no matter how they're trying to throw words at you, flirting or whatever. It's unacceptable. Welcome aboard, Caprine. Welcome aboard. Welcome to Chill and Spill. Zuz can't be here tonight, unfortunately. She'll be here next week, though.
Remember, you have some 15-year-old boys and girls even my size, and bigger than me, and have a huskier voice more than me.
So what does
Some
that mean?
15-year-old,
Mm.
I don't think it's just something wherein, to me, I would say, on her side, she could have maybe done better. Where the boys are concerned, I think that was the time of their lives.
So how did she end up in court? If it was the time of their lives, why is she now in court and why is she now in prison serving time for this?
Yeah,
If it was the time, who told the police? If it was the time of their lives,
it was. Remember that those boys, the thing is, you see, because these young boys talk too much, that is the thing. Because maybe somebody they said it too, because when you're going to school, they will, that will
yeah.
happen.
They'll
And
talk and stuff
yeah.
like that.
So majority of the time is that will happen, and they tell somebody, and then it reaches
But then it's
to
their
somebody.
word against theirs, though.
Yeah, but it depends on the personality of that young man. But for them, it was a time of their life.
Well, like Faye says, that lady's father is sick in her head, and so is she. And Faye also says 16 is the age of consent for both girls and boys. We just addressed that. And she said, yes, but how long has it been going on for?
That is what I'm saying.
And Zorna says that is so wrong and disgusting of her.
Yeah. If it
I don't think, not to Benson, I don't think it's disgusting for Benson.
No, because it's a boy, it's how society look on men. Because if when I was going to school, right? When I was going to school, and if any young man who find themselves in that position is not going to say no. I don't know which young man is going to say no. So that is the thing. So we know.
But the thing is, you know what, Benson? I have to cut you there.
Yeah.
The reason why I have to cut you is because some boys aren't forthright. Because Christine says, yes, the teacher is completely wrong, but today's boys and girls are too forthright. I agree with that, Christine. But we can't paint all the children with the same brush. And that is not fair. Some children are shy and quiet,
Yeah, that, you ever see, you remember, majority of the activities that transpired between them wasn't at the school. And when you look on that video camera, with the way that boy was walking, no shyness, no in him. It's like a skip of a skip with the teacher.
No, sir. No,
Yeah,
sir.
Because there's
yeah,
there's some children. Because the thing
him
is, I
not
know.
have
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you, but there's some maybe so, but there's some parents that are really really strict with their children. They take their phone away at 7 p.m. in the night and send them to bed.
how much of the population does that?
Not much. Not much.
Yeah.
And some are not aware of certain things. Some children don't even have social media and don't know what the hell's going on. But as you said, that particular boy looked like he was having the time of his life.
Of course, any boy, any
There's
boy
not
who
any
fall,
boy.
any boy who
There's
fall
not
in
any
that
boy.
in that position would, yeah, any boy that falls in that position would feel away. I don't mean, if you look into it, remember that is something that when you're younger, that is something that most boys, I think, relish to
And
being
fantasize about.
fantasize to being with a older woman, because I'm not gonna lie, you will see some older woman where that you will say, my God, if I was only 10, 15, 20 years older. You get what I mean? Because you have some young women who are really attractive. So just like that young man now being in that position, for him, man, it's like going to the fun fair. But it's only the teacher now, at the end of the day, in these circumstances, should have, I think, would be in more of a control. But for me to say that she brainwashed the boys and stuff like that, I'm not going to agree with that part. And I'm not going to agree with the part that she manipulated them in that sense. I'm not going
Wow.
to agree.
Well, 3 hours ago,
Mm.
and there's 60 people have claimed they've suffered abuse at the hands of another teacher, a former teacher of a high school, since she's been convicted. 60 people have come up for one man, a teacher. Let me tell you something. This is what happens. All it takes is one, All it takes is one person to get caught for doing something like this, and then it's just a chain reaction. Everyone feels brave now to come forward, because for some people, like I said, everyone's different. So some people, will fantasize about it, and some people, it was a living nightmare. And they've been tortured in their mind about it ever since, and they can't move forward with their life. It's abuse.
That is what they tell the court. They don't feel no way.
It's abuse.
Abuse what?
It's
They don't
abuse.
feel any way.
It's sexual abuse.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree.
Yeah.
Honestly, I won't. I'm not gonna sit here and tell any lies. I don't agree.
You don't have to agree.
No, it's
No.
not, because that is what I'm saying. If they were there for maybe that has been happening for maybe 2 years, a year, or whatever it is, 7, 8 months, right? If it has been going on for that period of time.
We got a live caller. Hello. Welcome to Chill and Spill. Who's talking? Who's on the other line?
It is Zuz, yeah? Listen, Benson, don't mix me.
Oh dear.
What do you mean, Benson? What do you mean? It's abuse, yes? Yes, it's abuse.
If it was a female to me,
It's abuse both sides.
no,
This is what I'm trying to
not
say.
in this case. I wouldn't agree that is
Yes,
abuse.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Maybe remember, there's more than one boy, you know. So maybe one boy felt, yeah, like, you know, he's the big man and all these stuff, and maybe the other boy felt like, no, I didn't want this actually. And every time I go to the class, I feel some type of way because I know this woman's gonna be onto me. This woman's going to wanna put herself onto me and pressure me into doing things that I don't want to do.
That's it.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's not all the time because, you know, oh, it's a boy, so that means, yeah, they must be excited that they're getting a big woman. Not everyone thinks like that. Not everyone loses their virginity at 11 and 9 and 8. Do you get what I'm saying?
He's-
like some
he-
like some of the Caribbean countries out there, not everyone is like that.
He's
Not ev-
0.1% of the population as a man.
You
Point
can-
one
you
percent.
can say he's
0.01.
You
Wow.
can say he's 0.01, yeah, but regardless, we have to address the fact that not every boy is the same, and not every boy is going to want that kind of attention.
That's right.
Or want that. That boy might like the other girl in the class that's the same age, but he's got this big, crafty, old-looking woman trying to put his hands on and trying to feel him up on all these things. He don't want this woman now because she's old. Do you get what I'm saying? Not every boy thinks like that. Oh, there's an older woman, so yeah, I must be the man. No, not every boy thinks like that.
That's it.
So yes, it is abuse. Yes, yes, and yes. And that's all I wanted to say. Big up my TMPC family still.
Yes, big up yourselves, Zuz.
Totally
I'll be there next
disagree.
week.
Yes, mate, feel free to, if you want to phone back, yeah, you can phone back,
I
yeah,
will
because
be phoning back because Benson, oh dear,
No, man.
no,
No.
sir. No, sir, to
Him
you.
minus 0.01%
No, it's not
of the
minus
population.
minus, you
as,
know,
as,
You know
as
what,
a man.
yeah?
from 0.01
No,
now it's
no,
minus.
No, you know what it is? Let me tell you what it is, yeah? It's
Yeah.
because I feel like because boys don't come out and say these things when these things are happening to them, we think that they're the minority. It's just like men with mental health. Everyone says, "Oh, but the men, there's a rise in mental health with the men because men don't talk about certain things," and it starts from when they're boys. So
Yeah.
that means that there's plenty boys that could be going through abuse with their teachers. Do you get what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
getting feel up in a corner and all these stuff, but because they don't say nothing, it makes it seem like it's not the majority when it could be the majority.
Exactly.
What's up?
Zuz, Mana General says, hello, who's that on the phone and why is she not in the studio?
Mana General! Mana General, I will be there with you guys next week. 110%. 110%. I
Yeah.
know I couldn't be there this week, but 110% next week I am there.
Yes. You
But I
know,
thought I had to bless the line anyway with my voice.
that's it. Bless the land, man. Bless up the place. He said, hi. He said,
Hi.
We are say.
No, Benson, man, no, sir. Sorry, just had
No.
to come back with that one.
Yeah, no. Let me say something to you before you go, right?
Okay.
Normally, I'm not saying that that won't be any young boy, right? But if I look at it on the whole scale of stuff, the percentage is very, very low of a boy who will feel a way about it. If
Yeah, but where
that
you getting
thing
your
has
facts
been
from?
happening,
Please tell me where you're getting your facts from.
what you
Where's the
mean?
dis-
Where?
we want to hear
Because-
from the
all
other
right,
men as
look
well.
at it. Look at
Where are you
the.
getting your facts from? That's what I want
all
to know.
right.
Where is this information? Where are you getting
All
your...
right, here.
Where's the source?
I'm going to tell you this source now. This is only one case that transpired in England, right? And she was sentenced over the weekend. There was
No, it's not one case. There's probably plenty more.
Yeah, but
this
this
one's
one-
the most recent.
this is the most recent. I didn't years ago I heard about one, but there's one in America that when they caught them and wanted to put the woman in jail, the little boy said, "No, I love her. I want to be with her.
Yes.
She's
that
the
was
love of
one
my
boy.
life." But
That
that
was
is
one
the
boy,
same
Manipulated.
thing.
How do you know it's not manipulation?
This is love.
It is love.
Of course,
It's
it's
not
love.
love.
Oh
It's
my
called grooming.
God.
It's
It's
no,
called
no, no,
grooming.
no,
Man,
no, no,
man,
no.
a
You know why,
general,
yeah?
man, a general. Anyway, he wants to know what the topic is.
No,
Yeah.
How
So
manager know the topic?
yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. So the topic is teachers troubling pupils in schools. Somebody got sentenced over the 3 days ago, and she's now serving 6.5 years in prison for grooming 2 boys and having a baby for one of them. So I want to know from the viewers, do you think because they were 15 years old, is it grooming or is it just a fantasy? The boys wanted it and it's a fantasy of theirs to be with a teacher.
No, it's grooming as well because just like how, remember, we're saying that obviously there's more cases of little girls being groomed out there because they're probably more vocal with it or their parents are more vocal with it. Yeah. But it's that same little girl will still say that they love that man, that big man. Do you get what I'm saying? But we know it's wrong. But in her head, she feels like she loves that big man because he's groomed her and convinced her that he loves her and treats her a certain way and all these things.
Yep.
And so a woman can do the same thing to a boy of the same age. It's grooming. So obviously the person that Benson's talking about in America, yes, he's gonna say that he loves her because she's been grooming him for how many years and brainwashing him to think that what they're doing is right. So
Zeus,
they don't know no better.
because what happened is majority of the situation that happens around the world and in our day-to-day life, people are just talking from a textbook point of view, but not the reality of things. Not the reality. Remember that the way of life, it doesn't have a textbook. But you're talking from a textbook point of view. That is the way that we will see it if we're going to read a textbook. But you cannot have a textbook on the way how you live or the way how people will feel.
It's not necessarily textbook.
It
It's not
is.
textbook.
You're
It's not
talking from encyclopedia point of view.
Encyclopedia.
Yeah. So, but I'm talking about the reality of life. No,
Yeah,
I
but that
can
is a
guarantee.
reality. It's a reality for some boys. Maybe not every boy. Maybe some boys would, like I said before, some boys would think, yeah, I'm up with an older woman. I'm the guy. Do you get what I'm saying? He might develop feelings for her and whatever. But that's not every situation. That is the reality of it. The reality is that that is not every situation. That is not every boy that thinks like that. There are some boys have been groomed and brainwashed and convinced and to be in this sexual relationship with this teacher. And that's not textbook, that's just reality.
Oh well. My general says 99% of boys will not mind.
Exactly.
I had a few teachers that I had my eyes on in school.
Don't mix
I
me.
feel like Benson has as well, actually.
Why?
That's why I'd probably say there's nothing
Listen.
wrong and there's nothing wrong.
No,
but
man, nothing.
But there's a difference between having a little crush on your teacher, yeah,
No.
and making it go the full way.
Alright.
There's a big difference.
Yeah, having a crush and then
Having a crush on a
Actually-
teacher, like boys and girls will have crushes on their teachers and whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? They're going through adolescence, they're experiencing different hormones and feelings and whatnot. But there's a difference between having a crush and then actually going the full extent and being in a relationship
You know
or
why?
having sexual relationships with the teacher. No.
and then
I'm
having
gonna-
baby as well. Having baby.
Exactly.
I'm
Oh,
going to-
come on
Life.
now.
You know why? And this is why I'm going to object to what you're saying now.
Man General says, Benson, remember Miss Powell, our English teacher?
Oh, jeez and peace.
Oh my God.
Oh my
I love that woman.
Oh my
I
God.
know you're alone, me too.
Yeah.
But here what happened?
But you see,
No,
you
let
didn't
me
go
say
the full
something
way,
to you.
though.
No, but even now you will see some older ladies that really look good. They're attractive. But what I'm going to say, all the time we will speak of the generation has changed, and the younger generation doesn't think the way they used to think 15, 20 years ago. Now, what happened is, if you can find me 5 15-year-old boys that behave like a normal 15-year-old boy, that how they should behave. Every work I work, I bring my salary, come give you. Find me five
I'ma
boys.
hold you to that.
Find me 5 boys
Start
that
looking,
behave.
Zus.
That
I'ma hold you to
behave.
that, boy. Let me start researching.
Yeah. That behave like a typical 15-year-old. The kids of today
What is a
does not
typical
behave
15-year-old?
in
That's
that
the
way.
thing. That is textbook. Thinking that there's a typical 15-year-old. Every human being is different.
But
That's
find
like-
me 5. Do you know 5?
I'm gonna find you 5.
Yeah, but
'Cause I
if
want your
you
salary.
because what happened is, look into it. This is how the generation has changed. Now what, you don't find kids behaving like kids anymore.
No,
Not
you
that
don't.
these
I agree
boys
with that.
not that these boys, I'm not saying that they're not boys that don't have any manners or behaving badly or whatever it is.
And it also whereabouts you come from as well in the world.
Of course.
Some places are more strict than some.
Yeah, and their upbringing also.
That's it.
But I can guarantee you that these boys is what's going like to a fun fair. It's like taking them to Disney World.
Oh my goodness.
No, sir.
It's true.
Anyway, I'm leaving you lot because I'm phoning back.
All right then, Zus.
All
All
right.
right then. See you later.
Bye.
Thanks for calling.
No boy in this young age or whatever it is. Very few, and there's certain was just gonna say one nation that I think would do that, but guess what? I'm not going to call any names, but guess what? At the end of the day, the percentage is very, very low of boys who wouldn't enjoy it. It's not a girl. If it was a girl,
That's what I'm
I
saying
would-
to you. I
I
did
would come
mention that
out, yeah.
before. Yes. Well, if it's a girl,
Yeah.
it would be a totally different
yeah, I would be
scenario.
upset about it.
But
I
we're
would be
as
upset.
females, we're upset. As females, we're upset for the boys.
Yeah, but for the boy, I'm not upset about it.
No, well, as female,
I'm
as a
upset with
female,
the
I'm
person who-
upset for the boys because at the end of the day, they have, what if they will take their innocence was taken away from them? Christine said the teacher got caught because she decided to have the baby and something leaked out. So
See?
that's how it happened.
See,
That's what I'm saying. Because the thing is, if you're just having fun, yeah, why is it that you are now having a baby for the boy? Why doing that?
good question. You would have to ask another lady. Cause remember me and pick up for the boy. So
Faye says, Zorna says she's there to teach, guide, and protect these kids. That's what she's there for. Yeah. Not abuse them. And Faye says, as a teacher, you're crossing the line, you're breaking the trust between the teacher and the pupil. Yeah. It's abuse of power. That's another thing. Yes, Faye, it's true. And also, some boys are not mature enough to be put in that position. That too.
I do agree.
Yes.
And don't
it's
get me
abuse
wrong.
of power.
It's not abuse of
It
power
is.
in my.
Yes.
Remember, read what Zana says. Read what Zana says.
She's there to teach, guide, and protect.
All right. Well, number one, she's teaching.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Where are you going with this, Spencer?
Number two, what you said. Number
Guide.
two, and number two, guide.
Benson, you're not trying to break it down a different way of what the Zona just said.
Yes, remember, it's not me said that,
Yeah, I
She's
know.
there to teach,
Guide and protect.
guide and protect.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she didn't protect because she had baby.
She didn't protect that part. But maybe she's protecting them from the outer world. The teaching now is giving them an experience that they have never had
But the
before.
general's got problems, you know.
No, it's true. So
Manager
what
says,
happened?
take away my innocence, miss, please.
Okay, then. See?
No, sir.
Behave yourself.
No.
Behave yourself, Manager
So,
General. About
if you-
take away my innocence.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's because it's a teacher in the sense that you're sending them to school. But as I said to you, this is my personal opinion. I personally believe that the boys had no problem with it. When they went in front of the judge, that is where all those things have been changed from the boys' perspective, because they have been told this is how you feel about the situation, and you feel like, oh, you have been brainwashed and all those things. Nothing like that.
Nothing like that, no.
No, not in my opinion. The boys, I saw the boys walk into the house, one of the boys, on the video. And he didn't walk like he has a problem, nothing at all.
It's abuse, Benson, and it's not acceptable.
Not in my eyes.
Yes, it's abuse, man.
Not in my eyes.
You know, because at the end of the day, there's plenty man out there, yeah. And if you're looking to me, you're looking for a little bit of fun. That's what you're looking for. So there's a lot of fetishes out there as well, where the big man them like to get licks and them something there, and like dress up when the woman dresses up like on all these things, like a teacher and all these things. Yeah, you need to go and find one of them big man that like all of that, and then that's where you get your little fix.
Yeah, remember,
Yeah, you don't go and pry on these young children.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. But that the 15-year-olds, because these 15-year-olds are nowadays,
Some of them.
some think a certain way, act a certain way. Look at it. Have you ever been on the public transport and see when they have school break? Since week, I was going to the GP, right? And I was on the bus, right?
Yes.
And some of the things that you hear these students speaking about, and I know they couldn't be older than 15, right? And the things that they are saying, it's appalling. So for me now, if it was a girl, mark you, I would have a different opinion.
But the thing is, another thing, like I said before, it also depends on where you're from, what area you're from, your upbringing, and all these things. Where this lady's from, yeah, it's country. Yes, you got social media and you can adapt to certain behaviors. I'm not going to dispute that. But this is countryside, pure sheep and cows and them something there, and horse. Yeah. That's the area that she comes from. You see now in London, all right, most cities around the world, that's where all the hype is. Come on, we all know that. It's hype in the city, no matter what city it is. It's hype there. Where they're from, that city there, there's no hypeness in that city there. There's no hypeness. It's secluded and it's one of them sort of areas there. So I don't know where her mind was at, but once you're doing them things to children, you have mental issues. Manager General says, I wish Miss Powell or Miss Price had took my insurance away.
No, sir.
I think Benson's remembering those teachers.
We need a high insurance policy.
I
But
think he remembers them.
what you're saying is because of
Sometimes it depends on the area where you live, yes.
how?
Yes.
In what sense?
I'm talking about the mindset of the children and how they act. You know, how they act in the city They may not act like that in the countryside. The heightness, the appalling vocabulary, and all these things. You know, how they sound, the 15-year-olds, how they sound in the city, they may not sound like that in the country. Do you know what I mean? You may get on the bus and you may not hear nothing from the school children them on the bus. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot to take into consideration here. This is why I'm saying you can't paint everyone with the same brush. It's not fair. Yeah? But Manager General says, on a serious note though, if you do a survey, like I said, 99% boy wouldn't mind.
True. That is what I'm saying. And I agree with Man General 100%. They wouldn't mind. But if it was a girl, as I said before, it is a total different thing.
Yeah,
I
it is
wouldn't
totally
agree.
That's the thing. So, you know, for me not to agree,
Yeah.
I feel like it's normal. For a female not to agree what's happening, but the thing is, I wouldn't agree on both genders. Male or female, I don't agree. It's not
And-
okay. Not, you know, not because it's a boy and, you know, the boys them are supposed to teach and, you know, if you go over an older person, they're learning things for their future.
And it's not because he even say that
You don't go to school for that.
where man and woman is concerned.
You don't go to school for that, though.
But remember, society, right, has put men and women in two different classes. There's a rule.
How do you know? I'm going to make sorry,
Yeah.
Benson, to cut you before I forget. How do you know that this might make the boys then more promiscuous? More than what they were. Because at school, they're going to associate school with sexual encounters. That is what, it's not about teaching anymore, it's not about learning anymore. When they think about school, they think about going to school and getting themselves into sexual encounters with, with other pupils.
No, then it's different because, as you said, the judge, it's 6 years that she got. So I don't know which other teacher is going to be brave enough to carry out such act.
No, but it's not with the teachers. I'm talking about with other pupils, other students.
Well,
Because they might think to themselves, okay, this is where this happens.
yeah, but
Learning.
But remember, even this would even change the mindset of some teachers for not to have a reoccurrence of this. So that will change it. So for that to happen again, it must be somebody who is from another planet or don't listen to the news. Because I don't think any other teacher at the moment, at this present moment, is going to be brave enough to find themselves in that scenario. What you will find is what happened is...
It's a boarding school.
Okay.
Yes, so the boarding school is a lot different to public schools. Boarding school is where you stay, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. It's a different type of school. So the pupils stay at school, leave home to stay at the school. That's what it's called, boarding school. So it's like it's easier to groom pupils in that.
No, man.
It doesn't matter.
That thing that brings a whole different light, shed a different light on it
Yeah,
now.
boarding school, man.
Because that one, now you can see if it is a boarding school. The parents of of those boys, they have money. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So that shed a different light. And for her to want to bring forth that child, it sheds a different light. And not because of boarding school. Remember that the students at boarding school, you know, they encounter different things from the students that leaves from home to school. When you're at boarding school, you're actually exposed to all manner of things that time. because you're not there under your parents' supervision, right? And that time, students that time who are a mama's and papa's child, that is the times for them to be adventurous because mama and papa is not around them.
Mm-hmm.
Mama and daddy is not
Parents ain't
around
there.
them. No, because boarding school, a lot of times boarding school, you will always find kids doing some things that you wonder why they do it.
Yes.
You get what I mean? Because that is their freedom.
Yep.
So that is another thing to take into consideration that also will bear shed a little light on something different where that is concerned, in my opinion. And then now you saying that it's boarding school, it also would make me be fully aware of the fact that now I stand firm on my stand.
Mm-hmm.
Because boarding school students, most times, based on my experience that I've been around people that are boarding, they normally are students. Some of them will be influenced by other students around them. Now is the time to be your man. Now is the time to do this. Now is the time to do that. You can get away with that. You can get away with this. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So different leaders come into play there.
For sure.
Because mom and dad is not around you 24/7.
That's right. That's
You
it.
don't have your mom and dad to question
And
you
to
when you go
report
home.
back to.
And to report to. So
Yes. My
different
general
things.
says a boy getting the opportunity to do that with a teacher would make him feel like a king. A female would be chastised, and that is going to make her feel or look less of a girl.
True. He has up that.
That is a great point.
I agree. I agree.
For some boys, they may feel like, yeah, I'm the man, and that might make them spread the word and talk about it.
And as Lady Christine said, it's just because of the baby why it came to light. So
Yes.
so that will even tell us another thing too, that she was willing to bring forth the baby. So that simply means maybe it's a possibility that that child parents was financially stable. Because it's the same incident that something similar that happened in America. When it happened, and the teacher, I think, didn't wanna didn't even when they were sentencing her, also she was saying she loved the boy, and the boy was saying the same thing.
Yeah. Faye says, like she said, just follow up on what she said. Some boys are not mature enough to be put in that position, and it is encouraged amongst the men in the family. So the men in the family will encourage the boys, the 15-year-olds. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that. If they're willing to give it to you, then take it. Do you agree with that? If your 15-year-old son, nephew was to come to you with that and say,
Boy,
listen, a teacher is coming on to me and I don't know what to do.
I didn't really have that much family member that we spoke to on that level. At the time, at my age, mainly would be probably persons who is not a part of the family. But that time when you reach that age as a man or wherever it is, I don't think I would go and tell daddy that, daddy, that teacher wanna do that. Rather, when I go and come back, I tell him, so dad, I did go still. You understand? So it's different. So
That's what I'm saying, but it may not be your son, but it may be like, a younger family member, cousin, nephew that will come and ask you, what, uncle. You talk to them on a level. You talk to them on that level. You lot got it like that. You can sit down and reason with him.
yeah, if my nephew should come and said, well, uncle, this is that,
Yeah, you be saying to him, why you coming to ask me that?
No, sir.
Boy, I'm not gonna tell him. I'm gonna say, yeah, what happened or whatever it is. What that? I have a laugh. Boy. As I said to you already, I view this thing totally different when it comes to a man or a young girl than a young boy. And that is my answer.
So if it was a girl now, then what?
No, if it was a girl now, it's a
Yes.
whole different kettle of fish. You would blatantly come out and say you're mad. You get what I mean? That can happen. You
And
get what
why
I mean?
is that?
Remember, it's not me.
I know.
It's just society. How
I know it's not
society
you.
has society has groomed us.
We've
Society.
been groomed by society.
Yes, we have been
Yes.
groomed by society. That there are things that if it happens to a lady, it's abomination. We have been groomed by society that ladies are precious. Men are not that way in society. All the rules and laws in favors a woman in society. And because society has groomed us that way, we will have to just continue our lives and show that respect to women. So for me now, if it is that age group as a woman, it's a totally no, 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 no. But when it's a man, I don't see anything wrong with it, to be honest with you.
You don't see anything. All right.
No,
Yeah, you've made that very, very clear.
no.
You know, you've made that very clear.
And it's not my fault.
No, it's not your fault. It's just your opinion.
Yeah, and because,
because
how
everyone's
society
been
have
groomed.
been groomed.
Everyone's
I've been groomed by society. I've been groomed by society that men are there to whatsoever comes, you have to stand up to it and face up to it. Everybody is aware of that.
Okay, so if it wasn't for society,
It's yeah, because the same way that lady groomed those boys' mind, as you guys say, that is how society has groomed my mind. And I don't have any problem where society have groomed my mind to know that women.
yeah, but there's levels. To what extent don't you mind? Do you know what I mean? Because there's levels to this. You know, you could be there's different levels of the grooming. You're talking about grooming in terms of being a man and your position in life.
The thing is, it's we can be a bit technical about it in that sense, right? But if you have a 15-year-old son, right, and they should come to you and said, "Mom, Dad, I went out and do this," you're not going to see it the same way as if the little girl go out and do it.
No way. Manager General says she's right. Most times, adults will encourage the 15-year-old boy to go ahead and do it, but the female never dare say that to an adult.
True.
Yeah, and society
It's
is the real
society.
cause of most of
Yeah.
our behavior.
But
I feel like majority, like all of it. Society has got a lot of us literally like robots. We just follow and comply. A lot of us in what society wants us to do.
yeah.
And it's a lot actually. And this is why I love this talk show. Remember everybody, whoever's watching now, please don't forget to like, follow, share and subscribe to the channel. It's free. You don't have to pay. And we're on all different types of platforms. We're on Bigo, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Mixcloud, we're on Kick, and we're also live on the radio station, GMPC Live radio station. So everybody should press that like button now and subscribe and share. Press that little notification bell every time we're live, because remember, we're a live show. We're not pre-recorded. We are live. So every time we're live, you'll get a little bell saying, "Hey, we're live," and you can click on and you can share the link. But on that note, we are going to close this wonderful show of ours. And remember, at the beginning of the show, we spoke about the hurricane in Jamaica. For those that tuned in pretty late in the show, we spoke about Jamaica and the donation. If you would like to donate
Credit.
for credit for people's phones,
It's just for tonight.
it's just for tonight as well. It's just for tonight. If you'd like to do it for tonight, we're not going to be doing it every week. It's for tonight. You can send a message via our studio number, and then we'll sort out credits for those in Jamaica that need to contact their loved ones. The number's on the screen, but for those that can't see the number's 07903 129 265. That's 07903 129 265. If you'd like to make a small donation for those that need some credit in Jamaica. We're not doing any other islands because we don't have much family members in the other islands, and some of the islands weren't even affected from the hurricane. But yes, we'll be very grateful for that. And please don't forget to tune in on Friday night, where we'll have Benson live playing all of the greatest hits. Listen, if you haven't tuned in before, this is the time to tune in. Yeah? 12 a.m. GMT, which is practically Saturday morning, actually. But yeah, and then don't forget to tune in next week Sunday, for the hot topic for Chill and Spill. Listen, you never know what we're going to talk about, on a Sunday. It's always great to tune in because we've always got hot, fiery topics. If you've got any topics that you'd like to talk about and we haven't addressed yet, also send a message to that studio number 07903 129 265, where you can send in your topic, what you would like us to talk about. Because I'm telling you something now, you see that list is long, but either way, we're going to get to it and then we'll definitely talk about it. But until then, if you can't be good, be careful. Benson, you got anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, just for society to take care of each other. And for parents, look out for your sons, your daughters around you, and family members. Just look out for each other, take care of each other. We may not share the same opinion on things or agree on some things, but that is just a part of life. And in this situation, if the boys felt hurt about it, I'm so sorry of what has happened to you guys, and I hope you will overcome this pretty soon. So all the best for each and every one. And for those persons who are going through any form of abuse in any shape or any form, there are always some way that you can reach out and get help. Tell a friend, tell a family member, and get it over with. Don't be a victim and suffer because of the situation that you're in. Have a wonderful night.
I second that. Well said, Benson. Yes, so if you can't be good, be careful. Love you guys.
Big up, man and general. Big up.
Big up, man, a general.